we need to talk about revenge. Now, you and me, gentle ladies and gentlemen such as ourselves, revenge is a dirty word, an ugly word, a caged animal that is ugly when released, and most of the time when we're playing games we don't indulge it. You know, we kill because it is for the greater good. We kill because we are being attacked and we are purely defending ourselves, and 99.99999% of the time this is true. We take no enjoyment from the killing. But just sometimes, on the rarest of occasions, there will be an enemy, a boss, or even just a soldier somewhere, or a mutant that gets to us. It could be an action that they do. Maybe they've killed a buddy of yours or a partner of yours. Maybe they've just killed you lots and lots of times. Maybe there's just something about them that gets you going, and you just get this slightly dark feeling inside. The need for revenge. Need for blood. Bloodlust, as it might be described in certain games or certain situations. And it doesn't happen often, but when it does, we need that satisfaction of seeing that enemy suffer, of seeing that enemy humbled, so you can stand over them like the Greek god you are and say, yes, I am dominant. I have defeated thee. But sometimes they die too quickly. Sometimes, you battle for ages to finally get to them, and then, they die, they fall, they're gone. That need for satisfaction, that need for bloodlust is not always satisfied and fulfilled. But supposing there was a way, just on occasion, just on those rarest of sordid, darkest occasions, a way to make your enemies really suffer. A way to tap into that caged, ugly animal of revenge. To have your way with that enemy. To make them hurt. To make them understand the suffering that they have caused to you and to the others around. And to make the people around you know that you are not to be messed with. If that were possible, would you indulge it? Would you satisfy it? And if you would, well then I think it's time to mod it. Greetings everyone and welcome to Mod It. Today I'm going to show you a rather unusual mod that is a little bit disturbing, but actually has practical uses as well as revenge satisfying purposes, and it's called Live Dismemberment, and it's by a modder called DeathclawAlpha, and it's available here on the Nexus. The link is in the description below. Now, what this allows you to do, as the mod suggests, is it allows you to dismember your opponent when they are live. Now, when you do kill someone in Fallout, occasionally a limb comes off or they explode in a big bloody thing, and it's all a little bit gory and disturbing. But the point is that when the limb comes off, they die. But not with this mod. Now, I've obviously got my lovely snow on at the moment because my character Mitch is currently experiencing winter, and so it's making everything look a little bit gorier than it might have otherwise, and you can see that I've been experimenting with this mod. And let me show you exactly what it does. I'm just going to spawn an enemy here, and I've got God mode on just so I can demonstrate this. And I'll talk about settings in a minute because I've got some of these settings set to the highest. Now, what this mod allows me to do is target a body part. You might be thinking, well, yes, I can do that already, but now what it allows me to do is if I target that body part and destroy it, there is a chance that that body part will blow off. Like that. But this time, look, the enemy, the enemy isn't dead. In fact, he's still shooting at me. And I've deliberately picked a legendary raider, so there's a bit more kind of health around, because I didn't want them to die, because it kind of defeats the purpose of the mod. But you can see this guy he's not happy, but he's still alive and he's still fighting. And in fact, we can probably take this battle a little bit further. Let's take that gun off him, shall we? And you can see now that it's so wrong. He's now completely helpless on the floor, and you can do whatever you want with him, including walk away. We can absolutely walk away from this guy here. We can say that this is a battle won. You don't necessarily need to finish every battle with a death. You're basically getting the guy to the point that you can decide what you want to do, and that includes show mercy. But of course, if you don't want to show mercy and you really do want revenge, then there are certain items that will allow you to do so, because it allows you to get certain enemies into a position where they are completely indefensible or undefensible or unable to defend themselves, and then you can do what you want. And like I said in the introduction, it does depend on your character, and I am looking forward, I think, to doing a character that is a little bit more savage, one that takes a little bit more pleasure in this kind of thing, because all of my characters on my roleplays, which you may well have seen, tend to be fairly noble, or, you know, not really much kind of into this stuff. But what about a character that enjoys, you know, the idea of making your enemies suffer? You know, it's dark, but it's good. But of course, you can also not if I don't go for the legs this time, you can actually get your enemies to a point where they will run as well, which you do see sometimes in Fallout, but it is rare that they actually run away and they will stop attacking you. But what you can do here is you can actually reduce them to a point where they cannot fight anymore. And once they get to that stage, they will just go. You can see this guy's kind of healing here, so I'm just trying to get that arm off. There we go. And you can see off he goes. He can't fight anymore. Some enemies you have to take off both arms. I had one earlier, I shot off one arm and he ran back at me and hit me in the face, which I wasn't expecting. I was like, what the frick are you dead? So I shot off the other one. And you know, it's very Monty Python Black Knight, but it just depends how you want to play it. Now, I said earlier there were different settings, and that's because you're seeing at the moment the limbs are flying off all the time, and it's happening too much. Now, what you can do is you can choose how much you want this to happen. You can have it in Liber mode, which basically means it'll happen very, 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 very rarely indeed, and it'll be very much kind of like, oh my god, you know, when it happens, and that's cool too. You know, you can put it in a normal playthrough, and just on occasion it will happen. You can put it on regular, so it'll happen from now and then. And I've currently got mine set to brutal. And this has a slightly unusual install. He actually suggests you install it without the faux mod, without the mod manager. But I've installed it with the mod manager. And what you do is you then go into your plugins and you choose which mode you want. So you can see I've got Liber mode, regular, and brutal. And I've put on brutal. I've put on brutal because I wanted to show you how it works. But basically, it's happening every time at the moment. But I wouldn't necessarily do that during a playthrough. But it depends on your character. It depends how you want to do it. The other thing that I really like about this mod, or the possibilities of this mod, is, I don't know about you, but I very, very rarely actually shoot the limbs. You know, say this is real fire, and I know I've got God mode on at the moment, but let's say, you know, it's a little bit tricky to shoot this guy. I can't quite get to him. He's ducking behind something, you know, as you do. It's getting hard to get the shot on him. And let's say I can't get a really good headshot. Oh dear, 38. Is it worth me going for the headshot? But look, I can hit the arm at 58. And what I really like is it gives me a legitimate reason to go for limb damage shots, because it won't necessarily kill the enemy, like it won't necessarily give me the XP, but it will end the fight. And especially if there's a few enemies around and I really need this fight to be over, then, he says shooting at the wrong bit, I can put together a shot that is likely to end that fight if it goes on. Now, obviously, he's a legendary enemy, so he's coming back. But do you see what I'm saying? You know, it gives me tactics. You know, oh my god, this thing's going really badly wrong. I've got guys on both sides. My health's really low. I can't get the headshot of my dreams. And I need this fight to be over. So, I need to run away. But so I'll shoot a leg or an arm or something, and then I can go. But you get the idea. It gives me a new level of strategy here as well. This mod will not be for everyone, and as you can see from the look of this place, it gets incredibly gory, especially if you've got snow on, because the crimson is standing out everywhere. Oh, I got attacked. Some Minutemen earlier kind of got in the way of my experiments. And it's not just raiders that this works with. As you can see, it works with the Minutemen, but it also works with mutants and some of the biggest kind of enemies in the game here. So if I just spawn ourselves a pretty large kind of overlord here, you know, these battles can go on, you know, a long time. They can be very kind of traumatic for you. They often have a lot of armor on them as well. But if you can make this easier for yourself by going for a huge leg, whoa! Oh, maybe you don't need to. I'll just try that one again. Okay, so you know, often you get really high possibilities of striking the leg, and now it's really useful. You know, we can attempt to take this leg out and actually get something useful out of it. But as you can see, someone like a super mutant, especially when you're a slightly lower level than I am, you know, the leg, it can be really hard to take these limbs out. It can be very hard to take these guys out. But now look, he is humbled. He can still shoot me because he's still got the gun, but he is now no longer a threat to me, especially if I'm, ow, he says getting shot, no longer a threat to me if I kind of back away. You can see here he's actually managed to kind of get back to his feet when he kind of reloads, but he is down. But it leaves it means you know what I'm saying. It just means that you can have a lot more kind of strategic options when kind of going for these things, and you can target bodies either in VATS or not until that body part comes away. Now remember, I am playing on the brutal version, so basically whenever I cripple a limb, it will blow off, and that doesn't happen every single time. The other thing you can do, the other option you've got in the mod, is by default it actually increases the head damage as well. But DeathclawAlpha has uploaded 2 versions, one that has increased head damage and one that doesn't. I've gone for the one that doesn't because I feel that head damaged shots are already kind of advantageous because they do more damage overall. But when you have humbled the super mutant like this, you can leave him, or you can even perform an execution style. You know, if your character really hates the super mutants and wants to wipe their scourge from the earth, I think it could be quite therapeutic to come over here and, oh dear God, this is disgusting, and just remove this scourge of humanity, this evil mutant, from the face of the freaking earth. Dear God. Ow, and I'm being shot by something else. Oh, you've come back. You've come back? Are you the one that I said flying through the air before? Who are you? But you can see here I've now got the option of going for these legs, and there we go. He's down. He is down. So I hope you have enjoyed this little look at live dismemberment. I'm sure there are some of you that this will absolutely disturb, and you'll be like, why the frick would I ever want to use this disgusting mod? And I understand, but there'll be others of you that I'm sure will see the possibilities. And a massive thank you to Deathclaw for putting it together. If you've enjoyed the video, then don't forget to like it and subscribe to the channel. And if you like the mod, then don't forget to track it and endorse it to support good mod creation over on Nexus. You have been fantastic. It's great to have you here on the videos, and I'd love to see you here again soon. You can check out my role plays as well if you'd like to see this mod in action. And that's it. That's all I've got to say. So I'm going to go. Goodbye.